Namaste. Very welcome everyone to this meeting today. So anybody want to talk to me? You are welcome.
Pranam Rajee. You just mentioned about the state of mind, and I feel that is the most relevant in it feels as if it is the foundation of life, the state of mind, because having a cup of tea, which you often mention, that having a cup of tea from that state of quiet and where you're already experiencing bliss, that cup of tea will enhance the bliss. You just said that, and you said the way to feel or the way to experience that bliss is that the way is also dependent on the state of mind. So this state of mind that you mentioned, can we see what exactly is this? Like after coming to a place of understanding and also doing what is needed to be done to at least taste the silence, how does one come to a balance of the state of mind, or how does the state of mind come in play once we have come to a place of quietness within?
Understand. So you can say like this, that what we know or understand in one sense in the place of quietness, in the place of our being, is not something immediately translated into the language of mind from where we understand everything relatively, isn't it? And that's the difference you are trying to highlight. That from the place of quietness of our own being, of our own soul, we are able to look at life very differently, beautifully, like it is beautiful. But when we, after that, come back to the mind, from where we are actually connecting to the brain, senses, relative life, actions, decisions, thinking and everything, that is not same. It need to still take that effect, has not taken that effect. What happens is that when you are thinking in that thinking mind, in that mind, it is not that it is mind thinking. It is actually you are thinking. But you are not aware that you are the thinker of it that time. So when you are not aware that you are the thinker of it in the mind, that time the conditioning of the mind is called, it is called that conditioning of the mind is thinking, based on whatever instructions are present in it in the form of conditioning. Conditioning is a form of instruction, no, for the mind, that how to make decisions, what to do, what not to do, how to look at life also. But when you have come back to the place of quietness of your soul, or some seconds, some minutes. And then from where, when you come back, you will carry a gift. You will carry a gift. You will carry a gift that is given in the quietness of being. That gift is self-awareness. You will be somehow self-aware still in the mind when thinking will be happening. And then this is where you will start sensing that is it myself thinking or is it just thinking itself? And that's where you will feel that no, I'm not really thinking so much. It is just thinking is thinking itself. And then you will not give value to it. When you will not give value to it, then what will happen? You will not give life to it. You are withdrawing life from it and momentum from it. So it will not continue moving in that way. And like this, new way of thinking will begin, where you are the conscious thinker of it. Like you are consciously knowing that I'm thinking about it. And you are consciously knowing that I'm not thinking about certain things also. Or you will become conscious of not thinking in certain ways also. That thinking in certain ways and not thinking in the old certain ways, egoic ways also. No? So as a result, you become more conscious thinker. Basically, self-consciousness is what gives us everything, all these gifts. That self-consciousness is a gift of sitting in the being, in the quietness of the being. We get the gift of self-consciousness, self-awareness, which continues with you. So the more you were there in the quietness of being, but conscious, present, not sleeping. Like we can sleep in the quietness of being also, which we do, by the way, a lot in the name of meditation, which is a nice thing, like it's a very healthy thing, beautiful thing. But it is not the same thing that can give you the gift of self-awareness here. No? But when you are really present, like you are, there is a quietness of the being and you are conscious also. Like you are consciously present, like aware and present that, okay, there is a quietness now. Like you continue seeing in a way, internally in a way, through the eyes of wonder, not through the eyes of inquiry. No? Then you get this gift of self-awareness and which continues. Now, when you will be present in the thinking, you somehow will still remain self-aware. And this self-awareness will work like intelligence also for you, that thinking is going on. Who is thinking actually? I'm not thinking really, no. I'm like kind of quiet. Like I don't want to think right now. I just want to enjoy my cup of tea, to enhance, to express my joy which I'm feeling, my bliss which I'm feeling right now. Who is thinking? Then you will realize that actually I'm not thinking and there is nobody else thinking. It is just a process going on internally. And as soon as you will become more and more aware of it, clearly separate from it, like I'm separate from it and it is separate from me, it will slow down, it will fade away, it will disappear more and more. A new type of thinking will take place now. A new type of mind will emerge out of it, out of you, using your intelligence, your through self-awareness, and connecting, like your self-awareness now connecting to the practicality of life, to the body, to the senses, to the brain, to the actions, to the actual life situations which surround you. No? And a new mind will emerge out of you that will be called, or is called, a neutral or natural mind. So this is a process that takes place really. How much time it takes is different for different beings. What all we can do is different for different beings. But fundamentally this is that process that happens. The most fundamental work that can be done in this direction is sitting in the quietness of our own being, but consciously, not sleeping. Meditation, to be understood again and again very clearly. Meditation is not sleeping in the quietness of being. It is the same one who was very conscious of the thoughts, of the thinking, of the mind, of the senses, of the world. The same one is now with the same awareness present in the quietness of being. So the awareness is still here. It is very awake, internally awake. So it brings back that awareness, but into the quietness of being, where it is not doing anything through that awareness. But still awareness remains, what I call wonder. So light of wonder remains. And that light of wonder slowly gives you the gift of self-awareness. Like you start becoming aware that I am something which always is here. I'm always something, I'm something which is always here. You are not able to define maybe so well, like, oh, I'm the self or not. But you know clearly now, experientially and continuously. No? This is the beautiful thing about it. So I hope it is clear.
Rajee, this one, the only one point that I felt, and I felt I wasn't able to relate to, was when you say wonder. And I feel in reference to meditation, you've always said that you sit, you are more in wonder. And to me, the way probably probably the way I'm understanding meditation, or the way I do the just sitting, that to me wonder is a emotion. That's my understanding. But what I do, like the way I do it, is I withdraw my attention from everything that I'm doing. I sit and I let myself sit and not sleep. But I realize that I am present. But besides that, like there is there is no this feeling of wonder that you speak about.
I'm not saying feeling of wonder. I never say feeling of wonder. I would like to correct if it has been misunderstood. No? I never say feeling of wonder. No? I'm almost sure that I have never used the word feeling of wonder. So wonder has nothing to do with the feeling. Actually, feeling is an extension of the same thing that we were doing outside with the body, with the thought, with the other feelings. No? So no, not that. Let me explain. Okay. You are the soul who is doing activities in the body. How? Like everyone can check right now. Like it can be like a nice, beautiful walkthrough also, and like living together also. So we are the soul, and we are doing something with the body. What is that something? That something is attending the sensations of the body, attending them in some way. Either we are attending them directly or indirectly through conditioning. So we are doing something with the body. Now we are attending the thoughts. We are doing a lot with the thoughts, more than we are doing with the body. What we are doing with the thoughts? We are thinking them. No, we are thinking them. They are not just there. Thoughts are not really thoughts until we think them. They are just plain simple energy. Potential, it is potent to be a thought, but it is not a thought or a thought process until we think them, until we, activate them through embracing and living them. No? So when the soul lives the thought energy, it is called thinking, and it becomes a thought. No? From where it originated can be a different thing. Like generally they are second-hand thoughts, or they are second-hand thought energy. They are not first-hand, like fresh. That fresh comes from the soul that we are, and rarely it happens, in the beginning at least. Mostly they are second-hand thought energy. They came from somewhere. Like they originated somewhere else, and they are playing and living somewhere else right now, no? Like this. So living those thoughts, we are doing this. Now now think like this. Then we are doing something with the feelings. We are feeling what we are doing with the feelings. We are feeling them. Like feelings are nothing but thoughts. Thoughts are nothing but feelings. In the thoughts there is a different kind of detailing when we feel them or live them. In the feelings there is a different kind of detailing. But they are basically same thing. They are not fundamentally different really from the perspective of the soul. We are basically living them. Now think that right now neither you are living the body, anything of the body, nor you are living anything of the mind, sensations, um, memory, projections, thoughts, or thinking energy. Basically, you are not living any energy of the mind or any feelings. Then what will you do? And where you will be? That time, you are actually not in the mind. You are not actually in the body. You are not in the mind. You are not in the feelings. You are actually in yourself. When you are in yourself, what you will do? Because you are in a doing state right now. You are not in the you have not the soul has not reached to its non-doing state yet, or has not become comfortable yet, let's say. Like when it becomes comfortable, when it becomes consciously, when it comes to its true state consciously, like by itself, by its own agreement, when it comes, that is where it becomes comfortable with its non-doing state. Right now it's in a doing state. So it will do something now. When you, the soul, consciously withdraws yourself from the body, engagement with the body, engagement with the thoughts and feelings and everything, that time what you do is called wonder. It is more like awareness, not a feeling, not a thought. It is more like an internal light growing in you. Like as if you are feeling yourself, but through the eyes of awareness, not through the eyes of a feeling or the sensitivity which we use to feel anything. No. So through the ability of awareness, you are feeling your being. That is what is wonder for me. And this is not something which begins. It continues and it grows more and more. This is what is called deepening of the awakening. The awakening becomes more profound. You, the soul, knows about yourself more clearly. It grows, it continues. No, like this. Somehow it becomes clear to you that there is nobody else here. It's just myself. When there is nobody else here, you will also know that there is no feeling required here. Feelings are also connected to other, not to me. There is no feeling which is connected to me. You know, slowly it will become clear to you. Do you feel that it has become clear now?
I feel now it has become clear. With the eye of awareness, that was, I think that was the missing link. Thank you, Rajee. This helps.
Actually, the eyes of awareness or self-awareness or eyes of self or self-wonder are the purest eyes. You know. One connected fact I want to share, which can help you, which was connected to the previous discussion also, a little bit that we were having, me and you. This pure eye of self-awareness, this pure eye of self-wonder, does not really have any reference of any thoughts or feelings. Meaning not the way we experience thoughts and feelings. The way we experience thoughts and feelings is the way of the person, way of the false self, not way of the true self. Through the eyes of the true self, thoughts and feelings look very different. First of all, they are not my thoughts and feelings. And they are also not, this is also not my body. Body is there. The support for the body is given more than ever, because without that, body cannot continue living. No? Care for the body is given more than before, mostly. I mean, I would say should be given at least, if not given. No. But the sense my is not here. That this is my body, my thoughts, my feelings is not here. Then once this my is not here, the I connected to this my is also not here. then the pure light of awareness is here, body is here, energy of thoughts and feelings is here. Not getting activated. It gets activated for a person, but that person is not here anymore. So all those thoughts and feelings are meant for a certain person, certain state of the being. When we are not in that state of the being, we cannot connect to them. Or rather, they cannot connect to us. They cannot catch us. No? Do you see what I mean? This is the thing. This is just a fact connected to it. So as long as they can catch us or we can catch them. Meaning, if through your self-consciousness you find it useful to connect to thoughts and feelings, for whatever practical reason, no, it's totally fine. No? I'm not talking about that scenario. No? I'm talking about when you are sitting quietly in your being and you thoughts catches, feeling catches. That's the you know example. That's the time. That time you are holding on to a personal energy, some energy of the personal self you are holding on to. That's why it is connecting to you. That's why it is hitting you. No, it is not hitting you at all. I think Guruji mentioned very beautifully so many times, about the similar things. No? The thoughts and feelings cannot connect to the soul, which is the freedom of the soul also, which is in one sense you can say limitation of the soul also. If soul want to live in the body, it has to find a way to connect to the thoughts and feelings. No? If not the old ones, to create new ones. No? You see what I mean? But if you want to be just free, that freedom is here, always here. Don't worry about thinking or thoughts. Just be free from thinker. We don't need to be free from thoughts. We just need to be free from thinker. We don't need to be free from feelings. We just need to be free from the experiencer of feelings. And then they are suddenly just mud. They are suddenly just clay, not pots anymore. You know what I mean? All those shapes and beautiful things that we see in our thoughts and feelings, and ugly things also, they are for the state of the person. They are not for the soul. For soul, they are just like the material. There is a material now, not shapes anymore. And material does not affect the soul. Material does not bother the being that you are. I would say that when Guruji say that when there is no audience, there is no show going on. Something like this Guruji say. I would like to attempt that, to understand that what it means. I think it means this. When we are not there as a personal audience inside us, then the personal show is not going on also. But some show is going on. That is universal truth. Body is here. Energy is here. Soul that we are is here, more importantly. Our roots are in God, by the way, whether we know it or not. We are rooted in God. Like our roots go to the source of life, to the ultimate truth of life. We have been blessed with such dignity or glory. And we are limiting ourselves by defining ourselves through the thoughts and feelings which are going on inside us. While we remain as a person, looking at them personally. So thank you. Yes, ma'am.
This place that you mentioned of when you are not, you are not the thinker, or you are not the experiencer of the feeling. Very rarely, but I have come to that place. And what I have noticed is that for some time that is a very that blank state of just being, it feels very nice. It feels as if there's nothing, no weight. But then there is, I'm, there is a, this might again be the play of the mind, that there is this feeling that, what now? What now?
Understand,
So, and at that time I feel that I feel a lack of guidance or something that can guide, that can say that. So if you can just tell a little bit about that.
We can say like this, that there are two states here we are talking about. One is the state of being, where being is not experiencing anything, emptiness, like feeling like as if it is like a blank and empty. No. Another is the usual state where we are able to feel certain degree of freedom or spaciousness inside us while living the life, and we also feel cluttered by what is happening in life, no? By interactions, experiences, expressions, everything. And as if there is no bridge between the two, as if there is no connection between the two, isn't it? This is what we are talking about. No? So there are two bridges possible, or there are two bridges I found are there. One is the purity of the individual self. Purity of the individual self, of thinning away of the ego, is what is basically spiritual growth. No? That when this is usual state, normal state in which we are becomes better, more neutral in a way. Neutral basically is towards the true self. More biased is towards the person. Like more biased, the more person. The less biased, the less person. No? More neutral, the less person. No? So this is one way where it can start kind of giving way to, to, to reflect the truth of who we are. So this is one way where it kind of comes closer to that, but not that it can come close enough to create the bridge, but it contributes in some way, like mind is prepared for the self in one sense, you can say. No? This is one. Another is directly from that emptiness that you are talking about, the other state. In that emptiness, there is a depth of it, where it doesn't feel like blank. It is like juicy, blissful. You know, it is just juicy, blissful beingness. You know, it feels like this. Like I am here, and I am supremely contented and blissful. I don't want to get out of it. I don't have thoughts to get out of it also. I don't have feelings to be here also, thoughts to be here also. It is just one thing. This one thing is the true state of being. So, where you have reached, there is a depth to it. Allow that depth to be discovered and lived by you. As you will live this depth of it, this juiciness, this blissful emptiness that you are, from here a bridge is created towards this other state. As I said, in the form of a blissful self-awareness that survives. Like you will be a somebody else now. You will not be a person when you come back to the mind. You will not be that same person anymore. Like that same person is dying more and more in a way. You know, when you are living in this blissful emptiness in you, that person is dying. Person, not the personal interactions or the training or the memory of it, but the one who was living in it. That is dying more and more because you are waking up as the being when you are living in the blissful emptiness, juicy emptiness of being. So when you will come back now, you will not really come back in the mind as a person. Like you will be less a person, more a being, which still remembers some fragrance of that juiciness, that blissfulness of the being, which was experienced in the emptiness. So a new entity in one sense is created here. That entity can be referred to as a soul or presence also. No? Like you are more like a presence, you are more like a soul here. Not directly dependent on the thoughts, feelings and practical life. Just living them and joyfully, like more using it to express your happiness which you always have inside you. No? Not dependent on the practical life and actions, thoughts and feelings to gain some happiness. You see what I mean? This kind of change takes place. I hope that it kind of makes it a little more clear. Thank
Um, Thank you very much, Rajee, because now the picture is complete from the beginning to the end. Thank you so much.
you. Thank you. That's very good. We can also explore a little bit. I can share a little bit, and you can try to understand that awareness. Awareness is actually a very overly used word, I would say nowadays, and it kind of makes sense to make it clear to us more and more. Because I'm saying for my practical reason that it was not clear to me, because I learned spirituality in Hindi, initially. So it was not clear to me awareness. What exactly the hosh? I know awareness. I don't. You know, dhyan means attention. I knew, but not attention. Dhyan I knew. Attention I did not know. What is attention? So for that reason, I looked deeply, and um, I feel that it will be a case in all of us also up to some degree, that things are not so clear to us. So I feel that it will be nice to explore this for all of us. No? So there are two types of awareness present inside us. One is basic awareness, fundamental awareness, what we call self-awareness. Fundamental awareness is actually not dependent on anything or not connected to anything except the self which is aware. That's why it is called self-awareness. Awareness, aware of itself or self-aware of itself. No? There is another awareness, this is subjective awareness, or you can say objective awareness. It is always aware of something. So there is something at the other end of the awareness which it is connected to. I am aware of this coaster, I am aware of this coaster. Like you can be aware of this coaster. Let's say I'm aware of this coaster in my hand. And I can be aware of a coaster not in my hand also now. So we can be aware of absence of the coaster also. But still it is connected to the coaster. So it's a spatialized awareness. No? It's not a generic awareness. I hope you understand. It's not a generic awareness. It's not a free awareness. It is spatialized. In one sense, you can say typed awareness, objective awareness. No? So this awareness is all we have until we have self-awareness. No? So we don't have any other awareness until we have self-awareness. So we need to use this awareness to reach to self-awareness. No? Isn't it? Like this. So what happens is, in this awareness, in this objective awareness, there is always object which we are aware of. There is awareness of the object. But there is a third element also which we are not aware of. That third element is that somebody is a beneficiary. There is a beneficiary of this awareness. Who is that? Who is beneficiary of this awareness? That is, generally speaking, you. That is I. That I am aware. Like, are you aware of this coaster in your hand? Yeah, I am. So the third element is I. And this I is not paying attention to itself. It is just looking out. This is not turning inward. No, it is just looking out towards the object or objects it is aware of. The moment it realizes that actually I am aware of this coaster, I am aware of this hand. Hey, this I is the same I. I am the same I who is aware of this hand, this coaster, this room, this meeting and everything. So this is where we are developing self-awareness. Not self-awareness, you can say we are developing centeredness in the self first. This is what is centeredness in the self. Self is becoming more centered in a way. Because self needs to become more centered first. Because self-awareness is something transcendental really. It has absolutely nothing to do with the objective awareness. Like there is no correlation. It's like, it's not that I am the one who is aware of this coaster, I am the true self. No. No, it is more like what you are saying, emptiness. It's like more emptiness. Oh. There is no coaster, there is no hand, there is no thing that I am aware of, So this centeredness is more preparedness in a way. But we are using the same awareness which we have. So our awareness of objects is our ability, our strength. And it is also our imprisonment. This objective awareness is called mind, which gives us the impression that we are divided. But actually we are not. And this is what we have to slowly develop or make clear. Like clarity basically is that I am not divided. Things are divided, but I am not. My awareness is aware of many things, even opposite things. But I who is aware of them is not opposite of any of them, is not biased or colored by any of them, not taking sides of any of them, like that. So this is where we develop a centeredness in the soul, in the one who is aware. And once that centeredness is sufficient, then what we can call self-inquiry can happen. This is the correlation between the awareness and self-inquiry or self-discovery, you can say. Now self-discovery can happen. Otherwise what will happen is that the self will try to become aware of itself, but will use the language or the outlook of objects which it has been aware of, which it is used to of. No? Body, mind, thoughts, feelings, the way of looking at the world and others, I am a person, you are a person, The self is neither a person nor a non-person. Self is neither the body nor it is not the body. It is something very different, like radically different. It is transcendental. That's why we need to prepare ourselves. A centeredness is necessary for that, for self-discovery, self-inquiry and self-discovery. Like that. So thank you. I just wanted to add this for everyone. Thank you. Uma, you want to say something?
Yes, Ji. Ji, I want to understand something basic from you. For me, I noticed something that sometimes I feel some discomfort inside me, inside my space, and that time, for some time I struggle with that, and then I just sit and I just sit and I do nothing about it. Not to push it away, not to hold it.
You are talking about some physical discomfort or what kind of discomfort?
Fundamental discomfort from in my space, like mind or like feeling space. It is like this. So when I sit, that time this clarity happens that this discomfort is not a like a problem, not a issue that I cannot handle. The feeling that it should not be in my space, why it is there, it is the main problem. So but my question is like a little further from this, little ahead, like because since some years I am guided by you and I am practicing the meditation and other practices. So now this is happening. But if sometimes also I go at personal level, that time what should be the approach to deal with these kind of things? I want to understand it more.
How? I would like to bring in little bit something additional here first to make my point more clear. That is, like I think it is high time for us to understand sustainability in the context of spirituality. What is sustainability in practical life? We all know, like like continuing with a more model of life ecosystem in the nature and everything, that it grows, it does not drain out or does not misuse something and does not damage the whole thing. The base, isn't it? So that sustainability we understand in the practical life, but in the spirituality also sustainability has been always there for thousands of years, and it is time that we understand it or kind of again understand it. So what we call actually spiritual growth basically is that model of sustainability. That we don't touch and go. We just don't like, okay, today we discovered everything and everything is clear and then tomorrow everything we lose. Not like this, but more a consistent growth without losing what we have gained so far, clarity or experience, wisdom or self-awareness. Without losing that, we gain more. This is what is sustainable approach in the spirituality, or you can say what I like to call spiritual growth. No? And in this model, now let us come back to the question that you are asking. That I feel some discomfort in my being, in the space of being, where like a space of feelings, no? And what should be my approach? Like when I'm in the space of being or state of being, then I don't feel like I have any problem with it. It's like okay, but there is a feeling to kind of remove it. So this feeling to remove it is a key which we can use to understand very deeply that what is going on here and what can be the best approach for us. So this feeling to remove it basically is connected to two things. One, that is the sustainable model of the existence. The existence wants us to grow sustainably, continuously. It wants us to grow like a flower, like a tree. For that, it needs to remove this discomfort because it is not helping. If it was helping, that feeling will not come to remove it, no? Because it will be serving the growth that time. But there is another component in this feeling to remove that is conditioned, that is coming from the personal identity, memory. Like the person is basically living in the state of fear continuously, and the fear is fear of discomfort only. No? That's why anyone who is very much in a hurry, in the past it has happened with many great masters that somebody was in a hurry to become free from ego, and they said, I'm ready to do anything. Then the master gives them some task which create a lot of discomfort, and they face it, and the person disappears. Because person basically is a fear of suffering, lives on fear of suffering. As soon as the being is able to face the suffering, the personhood disappears. The being-ness wakes up, opens up, reveals itself to itself. So this other component is connected to the person. So be aware of it. If it is the feeling of the existence, to remove it, it will give you some direction, guidance also from inside how to remove it. Because in the existence, things are not removed like we are removing garbage or something. It is more utilized in some way. No, it's not like remove this, cut this, plug this out or something. No, it is more utilized. Things are utilized. No, either utilized or they just evaporate. They just disappear in the heat, in the fire, in the light of truth. So if it is not utilized, if it is not disappearing, Either it is something like, personal outlook. That personal outlook is giving a wrong impression that there is a discomfort. However, it is something, just a process going on, process of growth going on. Or it is actually no discomfort and no personal. Like you have to find out yourself. I'm just explaining that what happens generally here in this situation. So you yourself see. If you want, you can talk about it right now also, or you can look into it later.
Yes, I want to talk right now. Uh, so when I am in this suffering, that something is happening in me, not comfortable, and I don't like. I also have this judgment, also this preference, also, and that time, this courage also becomes like less, feeling like weak. In inner weakness also feels. So, what to do that time?
Inner weakness is a very clear sign of going back to the false self state. Our body can feel very weak sometimes, should not, but may feel weak. No? Our emotions or other layers, other bodies, other coasts may feel very weak also sometimes, dependent on how things are, what is going on, like what life has thrown at us at that moment and how prepared we are. But you, the soul, can never and should never feel weak. No? Know this clearly. I clearly feel that you have this potential and you are already utilizing this potential, Uma. So that's why I'm speaking to you directly like this. So feeling weak is a very powerful opportunity for you. Let the feeling weak happen in you and know clearly, see clearly, is it really whole of myself feeling weak, or is any part of myself, any dimension, aspect of myself remaining not touched by it? Be very honest, innocent about it. Don't impose the idea that I am the self or something like this. No, just directly look into it. And you will be always surprised actually. And somehow this feeling of weakness will reduce. It will be reduced so much, like you will suddenly feel that, oh yeah, that weakness is kind of gone. Like it will be reduced, like localized, like as if in the beginning this whole thing has given you a full body anesthesia, and that anesthesia will be localized and will only paralyze your very small aspect of space of your being. Rest is like happy, healthy, and expanded, and in its natural state. So what do you feel?
Yes, this is very helpful. That who is noticing this, that I am feeling weak. This is untouched.
Yes. There are two things here, Uma. One, it is a connected fact, and I feel that it can be useful for you. There are two things about you, about ourself, the self that we are. We are going to experience ourselves as an individual self, even when we are knowing ourselves beyond it. And then we are going to experience ourselves as the pure self, no? In the meditation, in the samadhi, in the state of being, no? Pure being. Remember, whenever we are going to experience ourselves as an individual self, there is something being used for experiencing yourself as a particular self. No? That something, identify that something and remain clear about yourself being the pure self without being an individual. No? So in this case, the sense of discomfort is being used to create a sense of the individual self. Because the discomfort is connected to the individuality, the individual life, individual detailing of the practical life and relations and interaction. Like, like the individual is saying that, hey, true self, you don't interact with people, I do. Come on, I have to do something about it. You see what I mean? And let this individual who interacts with people and the true self that you are become one now. That's what I'm saying. Accept, allow, embrace, and transform this individual self, which you need to become when you interact with people, or which need to maintain the practical life. It need to maintain also the practical life, by the way. It cannot be that moment to moment, suddenly you see, okay, let's see, who are you? Everybody has to introduce themselves to you every day. Like in some time, it happened in some movies that some heroine, she forgot, like she lost memory, and then her husband has to remind her every day through video tapes and things like this, no? That who I am, and then she feels, okay, 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 so you are my husband. Not like this, no? So there is a memory internally also being maintained. That is the individual self energy, no? Individual self mind, individual mind. No? So that is also there or not? And you can still live as the self while living the fact or the truth of this individual mind and its a maintained circle of energy, and what it gives us the abilities to interact with the practical life. No? Like how much you can embrace, that much enriched you are the self as the self. No? You have started discovering yourself as the pure being, empty. Now, kind of increase your periphery, embrace more. No? Embrace the body, embrace this sense of individual also now, without losing the truth of who you are. No? Like this. So it is good.
Yes, it is very helpful to understand.
Good, good.
So this I can understand like this discomfort if it is not going like so it is a part of process in this individual mechanism.
It is. And the individual person, the individual person can handle only up to some degree of discomfort. It cannot handle more than that. So whenever a discomfort, internal discomfort happens more than that, it has to take the help of suppressing. So it suppresses, colors, or imagines it to be something other than that. So through the drug of imagination, the individual self tries to keep its life balanced, because it cannot handle discomfort more than a certain degree, internal discomfort, which is not physical. No? But the self that you are can can handle as much discomfort as possible in the internal space of being, because it is just freedom happening from the individual self, not really somebody dying or somebody is feeling discomfort. The discomfort is a experience for the self, not that there is somebody feeling discomfort. Anybody who is feeling discomfort is the cause of discomfort also, by the way, here. The sufferer is the cause of suffering. As long as the sufferer is there, suffering will continue. This was my Guru mantra in a way, from Guruji, that find out who is suffering, or like who is feeling the discomfort. No? And I'm sure that it can wake us up all up to some degree. No? Because we very quickly assume that I'm suffering. It is like suffering is dictating who you are right now. The experience of discomfort is dictating, like dominating and kind of hypnotizing us that no, you are this. No, let's have a fresh look. Let's have a fresh look. Discomfort is there, yeah. There is a sense of discomfort in the space of my being. So a space of my being is also here. No? And the space of my being is here, it means my being, myself is also here. No? Oh yeah, yeah. Myself is here, and space is here, and in the space, discomfort is also here. So, don't let your attention become narrow again. Let your attention let your consciousness remain expanded to feel that spaciousness that you are, in which the discomfort is happening. If the habit, the conditioning of the person tries to narrow it, like to bring it into that discomfort only and not able to feel anything else, remain alert about it. Don't let it happen. Continue feeling your existence, your being. You will continue feeling that spaciousness in which the discomfort is happening. Now discomfort will be there as a fact, and we will do everything that is necessary for it. But we will, without losing the sweetness of the spaciousness and the truth of who we are, no, in which it is happening. So we cannot really lose ourselves ever, but we do forget ourselves continuously. We do forget the fact that it is the space that I am in which it is happening. And I am the awareness of what is happening in the space also. No? Like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very helpful sharing.
Thank you. Ojas, you want to say something?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste ji.
Very happy and grateful to meet you. I was feeling like coming before you, and the question was not a very burning question, and still I felt called to share or ask. And then with your discussion with Uma, it became more and more relevant. So now it's like good time to ask. So the question is to engage with life or not, and to what extent to engage. And in fact, I remember asking you this question a few months ago, but it feels like it was in a very different light. It was more out of fear and reluctance. And now there is this more resilience, or I don't know if I'm qualified to say anti-fragility yet, but yeah. And maybe my question is like, will I lose myself? As you said, like forgetting, it's more chance of forgetting rather than losing. And in case I go too far, then what is a sign that this is enough and now I need to stop engaging and return back?
You are talking about shall I engage with the practical life, and how much, and when I feel that will I lose myself, and if I do, then maybe this is the sign that it's time to return back, no? Like this, yeah. For sure, engagement with the practical life has a potential to keep us in the forgetful state of who we are. It has. But it does not mean that not engaging with the practical life has a guarantee that we will live in the remembrance of who we are. Is there any guarantee of it? Actually, none. There is no guarantee of it. There are very high chances that when we are not engaged with the practical life, then we will be actually living in some assumed state which we will take as the true state of our being, and it will not be the true state. You know? But your approach and understanding, I feel, is very good already. Your understanding is very good that it's about how much actually. It's not whether to engage with the practical life or not. It's about how much. How much in the sense that so that you remain in the sense of connectedness with your being, and you don't feel like I've got uprooted again. Because this is the real work, most sincere and important work that you are doing in your life now, no? As a seeker, that hey, this is most important for me. So obviously you should ensure that you don't get uprooted. You don't get uprooted, like you remain, you feel that sense of connectedness. It was described like this when we used to hear from Osho that one day you will be able to engage with the life every situation of life and everything of life. But once you start meditation, when the roots of meditation has not developed in the being yet, that time maybe it is not a good time to really interact with everything like this and challenge yourself in everything. No, that time you can take care a little bit. That roots are weak right now. They can be very quickly uprooted, like what we call giving up. We give up spiritual effort. What is that giving up spiritual effort? Basically is that the roots are not so strong yet and we tried too much. Like these were Osho's words that one day you are going to climb Mount Everest also, but first try, Pune hills a little bit. No? So you are very right that our focus should be more on our connectedness with our being, that sense of connectedness that we feel, that sense of centeredness that we feel. Not so much that how much to interact with the practical life or not. Like try to see the difference that we are a normal, let's say, person, normal human being. Then a girl becomes pregnant. Then she does walk on the same street. She meets the same people. She many times does the same office work also, but in a different way now. Like she is being careful. Like all the care is there connected to in the belly. No? Like it should not be disturbed. In the similar way, it is said in the ancient scripts, ancient practice, understandings that a seeker is like this. Seeker is more and more becoming pregnant of the ultimate truth, no? Of the divine. No? It should be accordingly walk very carefully. Not that it can do whatever it wants. It can loudly talking and interacting and this and that. No, doing everything, not running away from anywhere, anything, but remaining always connected, ensuring that this sense of connectedness is always there inside me. No? And that will decide how much involvement. Not the other way around, that we can really know how much. No? Because anyway, you are not against interactions. You are not against how much also. You are just trying to be sure about connectedness, that I want to ensure that I don't lose my connectedness with me. Then start with the right thing. Don't focus on the interaction, then focus on yourself. While remain interacting, continue interacting. Of course, some practical notes I can share with you is that what happens is that whenever you feel that, don't take it like don't think of going too far into the engagement with the practical life that you feel like I have lost everything. No, it should not be like this. It should be maximum for the day, that this day has been too engaging for me, and immediately as soon as you feel that, immediately stop. This immediately stopping, I don't mean that wherever you are, like, you are trying to do something important, something is in your hand and you just stop, not like that. I mean, whenever possible in the practical context, stop. Stop for a few seconds. Just stop, do nothing else. Understand the discipline of not doing anything. Just sitting will follow you anyway. Or you can do the just sitting part. But not doing anything part also understand. In the practical life, whenever take a break means don't sit or don't sit. Walk, don't walk. Standing or not standing. Looking here or looking there. Whenever possible, just stop internally for a few seconds. Just breathe. Do nothing else. Enjoy breathing. Just enjoy breathing, do nothing else. You will come out of that overly engagement into your beingness, into your connectedness with the being very quickly. And do this as much as necessary that day, so that you can come back to the previous sense of connectedness, previous degree of connectedness. Because tomorrow cannot be done. Today only it can be done. Remember this. Tomorrow will be stronger, like more difficult to connect. Then day after tomorrow will be even more difficult to connect. So it has to be done today only. The day you feel disconnected, that is the day to come back and become connected as much as you were connected before in your understanding. No? And without fail, we should do meditation, just sitting meditation every day. Please try to understand in this Zen saying that everybody should meditate half an hour a day. Unless if you are too busy in your work. In that case, you should meditate 1 hour a day. It is to balance the exact same thing that we are talking about right now. Because engagement does that sense of disconnectedness from you, uprootedness from you. No, it does that. To balance it, you have to do that fasting of engagement also. That fasting of engagement is what is meditation. No? So to balance it, do that also every day. I feel that these pointers will help.
Very nice, Raji. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. But where to put attention also you shared, and some practical things also, and it felt like your words were guidance also and blessing also. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy to talk to a listener like you. Very nice. Anna, you want to say something?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
So first of all, last week you were a bit harsh.
I was?
Yes, but it was beautiful. You touched something. Ego was going for a few days.
Okay, I'm
and
sorry, but I did not mean that way. It just,
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
oh, I said that I'm being too direct with you, something like this we were talking, no?
Yes, but that was very good. It's always good. Yeah, a lot of anger came out, and yeah,
I
it's
think you can tell your anger that next time because you invited me to speak directly. No?
yes, yes. So it came to the point where my next question would be, or not question, but maybe ask for help, which is bearing my own silence. How Guruji says, when you're free when you can bear your own silence, and this is where it comes down to, because from being very deep in myself, it until now it always goes into this ordinariness, which I was mentioning last satsang. That's why you were talking to me like that. It goes like, yeah, everything is ordinary, it's always the same, and so from instead of falling into this silence, this is where it goes usually, you know it, and it's some kind of trick, and I don't know if it's fear behind it or just a habit of falling into that instead of going into something that is that would be unknown. But you also said last week, while you were talking to me, we'll live it right now. And in that moment, it was just like, it was impossible. I didn't know, like I was put on the spot, like what am I supposed to do? And who is supposed to do it? And I guess it was just this blockage, which I'm talking about now, somehow around people or while on the spot or while in contact, this living the silence or bearing my own silence is, yeah, is not possible or not or feared of or something like that.
I understand that, yes.
Thank you.
You are right. It is correct. What you are saying is correct. And of course, Guruji very beautifully remind us always, no? Let us try to go in details of it a little bit and which may help us, every one of us also. No? Like what exactly happens? Like, for example, let us begin with the very basic thing. I would like to begin with the very basic, no? In the sense that how a person is and, you know, I'm just trying to look at you. If you can keep your hand raised, yeah, that will be nice. So let's say we are habitual of doing something or the other whole day. Not only whole day, a part of the sleep also, which is called dream. We are doing something. We are doing something, mind is doing something, like together something is being done always. And let's say in the daytime, there is nothing there to be done. Like, what to do now? We have no preparedness for it. Like, we don't have that mindset that, like, what to do now? We can go to meditation retreats, and we can go to, natural retreats where we can go to a resort and we can spend. So we are prepared for that, but we are not prepared for this thing. So we have no background of it in a way. You know? And we need to develop that background, that mindset, that acceptance. And that acceptance basically is acceptance for the truth of who we are as also. Because knowing ourselves as as a being who is doing something or the other always is knowing ourselves as the individual self. Now, how true, how false, that is a different story. So that individual self can be a personal, too personal also in it, or can be less personal, more neutral also. But still it will be an individual self. Knowing ourselves as the self is something else. It is knowing ourselves without doing anything, like being without doing anything. No? So in the meditation, this is fundamentally what we learn. And we need to open our mind for the meditation by understanding. So in the mind, understanding can happen. That, hey, is it nice to keep doing something or the other always? Generally, it is nice. But is it nice to be a slave of compulsive doing? Think about it right now. Everyone is welcome to check. Is it nice to be slave, to be slave of compulsive doing all the time? Shall I not be the master myself, that when I want to do, I do, when I don't want to do, I don't do? No. Will it not be better to be a master? And this is where in the mind level, we will accept it. That, hey, it will be nice. Like, it will be so nice that whenever you want, you can turn on the doings. Whenever you don't want, turn off the doings. No. Will it not be nice? So it will be nice. So you are the same being who can be without doing anything, but at the mind level, you are not accepting it. Now, right now, you can, if you want. You can accept it at the mind level that, hey, yeah, I want it actually. In your thinkings, in your doings, in your decision making, in everything that is happening in the mind, there in the middle of that, you can accept it, allow it. Yeah, I think I want this. No? This is how we prepare our mind for accepting that silence that we are. No? We don't have silence, we are the silence. That's why to accept, to wear the silence that is inside us is to open up to the truth that we are. No? This non-doing being, the being who is not doing anything, is that silence. This silence is awareness, pure awareness also. This silence is called truth also, pure being also, pure self also. So there are two things which I can do to help you. One is that this what we are talking right now, that you accept it at the mind level. Like through thinking, like accept it at the thought level, as a thought accept it, as a thought conclusion accept it, that yeah, it's nice. No? Like a deep conclusion at the thought level, deeply rooted conclusion. Yeah, is it nice actually? Like a feeling, deep feeling that yeah, it will be nice to have both the modes, but in my control, not in the control of it's like you are a doer forever. You're just doing something or the other, always, always, always. The other only thing that you do is just fall flat and go to sleep and do nothing else after. And then in the morning, immediately, the moment wake up, immediately doing. This kind of is not really strength. It is okay. It was okay up to now. But as the awareness, self-awareness is growing inside, no, it is more like being caught up, like slavery to something. No, I would not like that. This is one thing I can do, which I am doing. Another thing is, I can describe and live the beauty of this true state of being with you in starting right now also. No? Which I do also, before also I have done, and right now we can do it. Like how beautiful it is. Who you are as the silent, empty, free being who is not, who doesn't need to do anything to be the truth. This pure being is not really the experiencer. It is the material every experience is made of also. You, the pure being, does not have a certain type of relation with anything in this world. Your relation is only one, that is love. You have a love affair with everything. Body, thoughts, feelings, everything. It is a love affair, but we are living it like a horror story, you know, like a or suspense story, or thriller. It's a love story. And the one who is actually living it, the one who has created it, is just discovering itself more and more, looking into everything, going deep into every thought and feeling and body and actions and everything, and trying to know, is there anyone else here? And it is not finding anyone else here. And this one who is living it is what is called God. There is no one else except God here. So are you the devotee of this God who is alone true? Or are you someone who is afraid of it? If you are afraid of it, that is what is false self. What is ego? The ego is nothing but something which is afraid of light. Because this God, this truth is light. And this same light is experienced as silence. As non-doing being, a being which is not doing anything. So who is suffering? Who is afraid? Who is not able to bear the silence? Where is it? Because only truth is the only truth is God. There is no other truth. Then who is this one who is not ready for the silence? And if you are not able to find this one, it's okay. But have you found yourself here or not? You have found yourself here or not? You are here or not? Just this much is more than enough. Don't worry about this one. And you are okay with the silence or not? You are enjoying this silence or not? This is more than enough. This one who is afraid of the silence will disappear. It is a shadow. If you fight with the shadow, you will miss the opportunity of doing what you can do who is not the shadow. Just directly do what you can, what you want to. No? Don't worry about the shadow. When you have not discovered that you are the real, whose shadow it is, what we call ego, that time we need to depend on the shadow to reference back to who we are. But right now you are able to feel the truth of who you are. You do not need to refer to the shadow anymore, not in this moment. You are not something which is afraid of the silence. You are the silence which is living everything, which is living all the sounds. You are the silence which is living all the sounds. And that's why you are able to live them so accurately. No? Like they are so clearly audible to you, every sound that is happening inside. Every activity, basically, every vibration is nothing but a sound. No? Everything that is happening inside is sound. And because you are the silence, that's why you are able to experience it so clearly. Now you are already the silence. How you can be afraid of this silence now? You cannot become this silence. You cannot unbecome also. So this is how I feel I can help you in getting used to of it and getting acclimatized to the silence that you are. No? I hope that I succeeded a little bit.
You said something very crucial, where I could feel what happens in the moments when I retract from living the silence, and that is the shadow. Because, and you asked if I'm enjoying the self and or not. So the way that it comes is like the enjoyment comes, and then the shadow becomes bigger. So it's not like when we are in satsang and then of course there is full enjoyment of the silence, but when the shadow comes, because it kind of tries to overwhelm, or like be as equally, or it becomes equally big, and this is where it's yeah, but
See,
yeah.
how you can counter it, I feel. When the shadow becomes very big, basically it is not the shadow, it is not in that kind of shadow which we can see, but more it is like the sense of the self becomes strong. No? When the sense of the self becomes strong, that time the awareness of the self should also become strong, of the same awareness. Or of, like, awareness of the same self should also become equally strong. That's how you counter it. And as soon as you increase the awareness of this self will start decreasing, like it will start fading away. Then only awareness will remain, which will merge back into the silence that you are, the pure being that you are, which does not have a shape, which doesn't have a form. Basically, if you are afraid of the silence of your own being, you are afraid of being nobody, being nothing. And this cannot be avoided really. And I'm trying my best to explain to you that when you become a nothing, a nobody, you are able to do more, much better. You are able to perform as somebody much better than before. Because now you are not a typed force which can perform as a somebody. Before you were a typed force, you were already a somebody. All the time a somebody. Now your flexibility or range was very less to perform anything other than that. No? But now you are free from being somebody. You can do so much more. You are so versatile now. You can be so versatile now. No? So basically this is what is moho, attachment or identification of the self that you are with the sense of the self. So if you can identify yourself as the being or as someone, something who is aware of the sense of self, this is what is going to make you free, like going to acclimatize you. So don't try to remove the sense of the self. Just remain as the awareness of it. Then they both will slowly disappear. You, the pure being, will remain as the knower or performer of every role and everything. Like a sense of oneness is also something which Uma, for example, reported, some other reported. There is a sense of oneness that is felt, like a uninterrupted, undivided flow, harmony, rhythm. Notice that also. Whenever that is broken, something is not okay. Then you have accepted yourself as something other than who you are. Because in you there is a natural rhythm which is supporting everything. Everything. Like it doesn't have any conditioning or judgment towards any activity that we do, by the way. It is the person who is judging itself, not the self judging the person. No? It's very neutral and loving towards every action, every thought, every activity. Thank you. I think I hope it is in some way help you. Thank you. One beautiful story that can be understood or can be adjusted here very nicely is that what Osho told us, that there was a church in which it was very old, and the committee thought that I think it is time that we should do something about it. No. They did a meeting, and then 3 resolutions were passed in relation to redevelopment of this church. No. One, that it is old, so we have to demolish it and a new church has to be created in place. Second, that the doors, windows, and bricks of the old church can be used in the new church. Makes sense to save money. You know? And the third, that until the new church is built, old church will remain as it is. This is what we are facing, every one of us who is waking up. Try to think about it. It's a very fundamental message for the self, for the beings like you who are waking up. This is not going to happen. Like basically, this is never going to happen. This church, not church, but this this false self that we are talking about is what we don't want to demolish. We want to create a new in place of this same one without demolishing it. It's not going to happen because the space of the being is same. Or the being is the space. Not that being has some space. No, being is that space which everything is made of. Either you can be the being or you can be the person. No, not that you can remove the person or something. No, no, you can live as who you are. Then you don't need to remove the person. Or you can continue living as a person and keep searching for the self everywhere inside. What we call as a person we are able to taste the silence a little bit, joy a little bit. It is basically catching a break from being a person. You the self, still you are the self, even when living as a person. You are just catching a break from being the person because being a person is very effort intensive and very tiring. No? So you just take a break. Okay, I am just sitting quietly, enjoying myself. Then back to being a person, which is also okay. Like I have absolutely no advice for anyone. If it is okay for you, it's okay, no? But if it is not okay for you, you should understand the mechanism, how you the self becomes the person, remains the person, plays the person, and how you unbecome it in a way. You should understand the mechanism. No? And all of this which I am sharing, by the way, Anna, is I think going to help you in opening up. Because you think there is two reality. One is the silence and one is the other thing. There are no two reality. There is always one reality. It's just always one reality. As long as we see two reality inside us, we can be alert that dream is still playing. No? Thank you. I think it's very good. There is a message from Preeti for some time. The message says like this: Dear Rajee, till now I was taking self-awareness journey steady and easy. But lately I see some urge of understanding everything at once and knowing self and see through experiences with it. Meditation and satsang have had help a lot and lead me in calm, content state often. And yet many times I fall in confusion and foggy state. In the bracket, it's not new, but I am not so okay with it now. Please share some light on this. You have used many things here. Many words you have used here, which inspired me to speak like this, Preeti. That the soul is always one. It is not more than one. It is not two. When the soul is living in the divided state, it is called mind state. When the mind is living in the not divided state, it is called soul state. They are not two things, they are two states of the same thing. So the goal of spirituality is to come back from the divided state of the soul, which is called the mind state or ego state, to the true state, which is undivided state. And for that, we should stick to one thing, not many things, as a practice, as understandings also. We should stick to one thing as much as we can, because we are trying to come to one from manyness. So manyness is the joy of the mind. Inconsistency is the joy of the mind. Mind means that divided state from which we are trying to come out. Consistency, holding on to one. In Hindi, I think you can understand. It is said that eke sadhe sab sadhe sab jai. By balancing one, everything is balanced. By trying to balance everything, everything is imbalanced. Everything goes. So try to balance one sadhana, one understanding, one practice. And whatever it is ultimately going to reward you, because it is not the practice that has to be balanced. It is you who has to be balanced into consistency, into one effort. The more one you are in the effort that you are making in spirituality, the more one you are becoming in a way, or you are unbecoming the divided self, which is what is ego self. Ego self is nothing but divided self is ego self. Undivided ego is the soul state, like this. So I would say that stick to something one, and this one will lead you to ultimate solution. Because in the spiritual context, techniques matter less. The samagrata, totality matters more. Consistency matters more. Long time back, in 2012, I think, I went to Uttarakhand, to Himalayas, and there I met one beautiful saint. And she was talking to me, and she said, she used the exact word I will share. She said, one master, one teaching, one practice. Something like this. She was emphasizing on one, like one, focus on one. She was saying like. She was a great saint, I think, left body. So it's really important to emphasize, to focus on the crystallization. Like, so any technique, I don't really say that one master, I don't say that. But any technique which is helping you in becoming more one inside you is helping you in the ultimate direction. And any practice or any even life situation or interaction or practices with life, or our life practices also are there. If it is dividing us more, then it is going against the goal. I feel like this. So don't worry about self-awareness or some other method. Self-awareness or some other practice. Don't worry about that. Is it helping you in becoming more crystallized, more one? Then yes, it is helping in the ultimate goal. If not, it is not helping. So thank you. Thank you. Zoe, you want to say something?
Yes, Namaste Ji.
Namaste Ji.
I want to know more about meditation. I feel that I still not fully understanding meditation, because just this meeting you just shared that if I fall asleep in meditation, then it's not the meditation. it's once in a while it's happened to me. So then I want to know more.
Let us try to understand three things here. One thing is the doing, another thing is not doing. So doing we know. We do everything in the morning, day, whole day, no, we do or not. So this is doing. Not doing is known to us only when we sleep, no. Even when we are sitting after a tiring job, workout or physical activity, we are actually doing something that time. Only when we sleep, that time we are not doing anything. No? So you, the soul, has no experience or introduction to not doing anything except in the sleep. No? So this is why it is not a surprise that when we sit without doing anything, like you are a very strong soul and you are able to actually not do anything, that whole body mind activates the sleep because it knows only one way to not do anything. Like it knows only two states, doing something, sleeping. Meditation is third state, where neither you are sleeping nor doing anything. That third state is the true state of being. So we are entering into the true state of being through effort. Through effort of what? Effort is that either you will fall in the sleep or you will fall in the doing. And you are saying, no, I will remain self-aware as much as I can, focusing on myself, and I will be alert enough to not engage in any form of doing during this time. And that is going to keep you in the very middle of both, which is what is falling into the being. No? This same being state is available in the morning, early morning, the first when we wake up and our mind has not got activated yet. No, this being is available that time. That time neither you are called asleep nor you are called engaged. No? That's why the morning time I have always given as a practice, like whenever anybody, like whenever in that context it happened that in the morning just check, turn towards yourself. No? There is no doing that can happen without a non-doing also, by the way. So it needs some gap, some rest. That rest. No? But that rest is connected to doing. It is like a rejuvenating the energies to do more after that. No? But this is a different kind of not doing. It is not waiting for something to be done after that. This sitting in the meditation is not like you are resting so that you can do something more now. No. You are sitting so that you can discover who you are, so that you can live who you are. No. So it's a different kind of not doing. It is similar to resting, but it is not hooked to doing something after resting. No. Also we can look at it like this. So generally speaking, the soul does not really initially have any introduction of what is meditation. Like it can think about it, it can conceptualize about it, but it doesn't have real experience of it. Because the experience of meditation is same as experience of the being that we are. No? We don't taste anything there, we just experience ourselves. Why we are able to experience ourselves in meditation and not otherwise initially? Because our attention or our consciousness is engaged with the doings, and our consciousness is not present in the sleep. And it is that consciousness which is going to enable us to discover or to experience who we are. Self-awareness, self-consciousness. No? So this self-consciousness is what makes the sleep and meditation different. That when you are meditating, you are not sleeping. You are more aware than before. But your awareness is not engaged with the thoughts, feelings or activity or basically any activity. No? Meditation is very difficult, not only to understand but to practice also. But together it is very easy. Alone it is very difficult. Because we just don't know what to do here. No? And you should refine this understanding again and again. The more you refine, the more somehow the door opens up for you. Do it with me right now. It is not something to do as much as to understand and allow it. No? But in one sense, it is something to do also. Like doing means like we are continuously engaging, and we are invited to not engage with anything. No? So let us begin like this. Don't try to not do anything right now, but only observe. Only be aware of anything that you are doing with anything. Just one thing. So don't do many things. Do only one thing right now. That am I doing anything with my thoughts, with my feelings, with my body? Like a actual deeper scanning, not just one time looking and then declaring. No, continuously improve, continuously feel, aware, be aware of it, be conscious of it, that am I doing anything with anything? Don't stop doing that, just be aware of what you are doing right now. And this is going to somehow make you free from that doing, or at least make you aware of that doing, which is also very good. Don't focus on thoughts, focus on yourself. Because thoughts are many, but you are only one. Don't focus on feelings, focus on yourself. Feelings are many, but you are one. Just keep your focus on yourself during this time, that am I doing anything with thoughts, with feelings, with emotions, with body. Just ensure that I am not doing something or I am doing something. Just ensure that there is enough awareness to ensure that I am doing something or not. And remain open for surprise. There is a big surprise here for you. Any one of you who has come to this state where we are right now together, you will be surprised that why I was thinking that I am doing something. It is more like a belief that I am doing something. Like the doer is a belief actually in me. You will know this actually, experientially. Like I am the thinker of my thoughts is a belief in me. No, you will know this. Or we can say that you were the thinker of those thoughts when you were not conscious. Now you are conscious. That's why you know that I am not the thinker of those thoughts or feelings or anything. I am not a doer of anything. I only am here. And if you are a doer of anything, be aware of it. That's all. And that this awareness of what we are doing from the core of being will make it very harmonized. So in this moment, what I am doing, am I doing anything? Just being very clear about it, bringing the light of our own awareness onto it. And then keeping it in this awareness. So continue doing what you are doing, but keep it in the awareness. And then everything changes. Mostly we are not able to continue doing that thing which we were doing before, or its meaning, its purpose, its way it changes also in some way. And mostly it stops. In moments like this, it simply stops. So now, are you able to scan and clearly identify that what are you doing right now? The answer is yes. You have come to that clarity now, no? That okay, this is what I was doing or this is what I am doing. Still. Like many things you were doing but not doing anymore after awareness has come onto it. But something still you are doing. Can you look deeply now those things, how exactly you are doing them? Now go bring that awareness to the deeper level of it now. How you are doing it. continue doing it. Just be aware of how you are doing it. Like thinking the thoughts, how you are thinking the thoughts. Like feeling the feelings, emotions, how you are feeling the emotions, the feelings. Like living the sensations of the body, how exactly you are living the sensations of the body. Be aware of the very mechanism of doing what you are doing while continue doing it. May I ask you the same question again? Are you doing anything right now? Do you need to do anything right now? And if your answer is that no, I don't need to do anything right now, and I'm not doing anything right now, this is meditation. Zoe, this is meditation. Not doing anything, just being here. But it need to be conscious. You need to be that same conscious being who is unconsciously doing many things. Now, first you consciously do those things, then you consciously can not do also, which you are doing now, which you are not doing. Now you are not doing anything, you are just being. No? And why we do like this? Because in this environment, this is an environment, this is a state of the soul in which the truth of the being that we are is revealed. The ultimate truth of the being, the other aspect of the being which is not changing is revealed here. No? That freedom happens basically, freedom from the bondage to the body, mind and to the individual consciousness. No, that freedom happens here. No? The bliss of the being is discovered here. So now stay in this not doing anything. Eyes closed, eyes open, it then doesn't really so much matter. Not for you if you have succeeded. By closing your eyes, you cannot do more meditation. By opening your eyes, you may not lose it, no? Your eyes are open, they are seeing something, brain is recording it, but if you are not doing anything with the brain, is it not same as meditation with open eyes? So eyes open and eyes closed are not really important. Engagement with the mind, with the reports of the eyes is important. No? Whether we are engaged, whether we are doing something or not. So you are not sleeping right now, and also you are not doing anything with anything. So not doing anything with anything, this is meditation. No? This is the true state of your being. So very good, thank you. I hope, Zoe, that this is clear to you now. If not, you can ask again, I will try to explain.
very, very, very much clear now. I feel it's very much new to me because I feel that it's, I'm so loose to myself because I feel that it's, I allow myself to think, to feel, but actually I don't need to.
Yes. So basically, this is like a something new that has to be introduced to the being, to the soul that we are. That in the whole day, we should also have time when we don't allow ourselves to think or do anything else. And this is where we are going to continue discovering the truth of who we are. Discovery of the truth of who we are does not happen through doings. It happens in the being when the being has chosen to withdraw its consciousness from everything, from every engagement.
And I feel so strongly that it's the body and breathing, and then it's just the self. It's just only this.
And
And
whatever.
so empty.
Eh?
And so empty inside also. Nothing there. But why I just keep doing to put so many inside this container?
So it is something beautiful to discover that it's just empty, and why I keep filling it with something. It's good to know this truth. But allow yourself to go deep in this truth or to become more clear about this truth. So that you can discover that what you are feeling inside you, that thing is also made of this emptiness. So this emptiness that we are can never be filled by anything, because it is the very thing everything is made of. We are not the space in which everything is happening, and we are not only the space. We are a space also. A space of the being is the individual space of the soul, which is not touched by anything that happens inside us. Whatever you feel, you can feel claustrophobic, you can feel suffocating, but you are not affected by it. Ultimately, it is just a matter of preference that you like empty, less furniture, or full, more furniture. No, it's just a matter of choice. But the truth is something beyond the choice or matter, beyond the preference. The truth is that all the furniture is made of that what you are. Discover that by going deep in the truth of who you are. We don't need to go deep in anything. We don't need to go in the thoughts or feelings or anything to know the truth of who we are. We just need to go in the truth of who we are to know the truth of who we are. And this is what is freedom. Freedom, not freedom from the shapes and forms. No, it is not freedom from the forms. It is freedom into the formless. There is a big difference. Freedom into the formless is freedom into that emptiness which constitutes everything, which is the material everything is made of. And we are that. We find ourselves to be that. No? Then you will not feel like a judgment towards anything that is inside you. You may still like to clean your house or keep your house clean and more like minimalist, You see what I mean? Like you may totally feel like this, because the more empty you are as the being, the more you may feel like balancing things in a way, or you may not also, So just wanted to add this a little bit. What do you feel? Is it understood or?
Yes, understood. Mm.
Because this is the next step of awakening, that I am the self. The next step is, what is this sansar then? I am the self, I am the empty, formless self. What is this sansar? What is this thoughts and feelings and the sense of individual and the interaction with people? What is this? This is the next step, like a maturity of awakening, isn't it? Let us allow this to also give, let us give some space to this also, so that it can complete itself. No? And it is going to become much more rich. When we will incorporate thoughts, feelings, individual actions and relative life into the truth of who we are, it will become very rich. The person is a very selective state, very isolated and limited state of the self, where you don't have the option of word and the self. It is like word or the self. It's not like both at the same time. But you, the self, is vast. You are like nothing. You can accommodate everything very nicely as it is. So everything remains as it is in you. And you remain as everything. But you don't lose who you are still. Do you see what I'm saying? Running away from anything is not required. Trying to change anything even is not required. In order for you to live the truth of who you are, that bliss, that truth, that Sat Chit Anand that you are. Just approach it correctly. Enter into yourself, in some sense. In a very simple layman language, I'm saying, just enter into yourself. This is the first thing you do. Then you don't have to get out of anything. And you don't have to remove anything also from you. Things will be still removed, by the way. But you don't need, there is no need in you anymore, even if the house is dirty. No? I just had this feeling to share some things like this with you all, beloved. I hope that it will help you in some way. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pranam Rajee. I often wonder, you say this thing that everything is made of the same material, and today I feel
it is actually. It's something very blissful, no? Like everything in the ocean is made of the ocean, and there's only ocean and nothing else. This ocean is called the manifested God, Brahma. No? The darshan of or seeing anything else other than this is something which has been attained by life through effort, through a lot of effort and arrangement. What we call person is an arrangement. What we call ego is an arrangement, has been done to create a point of view in such a way that the word is seen, Brahma is not seen. However, word is nothing but Brahma. There was somebody who was saying very beautifully, as I said before also, that the jewelry is searching, the gold jewelry is searching for gold. The wave is searching for water. And they will be called fool. No, they are fool. And in the same way, the soul is searching for Brahma, for the Supreme Soul. Is this soul is also not fool? Because the jewelry is made of the gold which it is searching for. The wave is made of the water which it is searching for. The soul is made of that Brahma, Supreme Soul, which it is searching for. It should just live its own nature. And when it lives its own nature, it loses that sense that I am separate from this one ocean, this one Brahma. Brahma only remains. And this individual mind, this individual says that there is only Brahma, nothing else. There is only one self, nothing else. So in this way I am saying. I hope that it makes some more clear. No? I know it totally makes no sense in the concept. I'm more talking about the experience of it, no? And daring to express it in a way. Because it is unbearable sometimes. Silence is not unbearable. Darshan of truth is unbearable. Meaning not expressing it is so unbearable. It creates so much pain in your heart. You just want to express it a little bit, you know. And there is no chance really, almost anywhere. Almost nobody is ready to listen the truth. No? But was there any question connected to it? Please go ahead.
Um, whenever you have said this, and you have said this in the flow or following a meditation, that everything is made of the same material, and you just spoke about the wave and the water. That is true. But I guess when we are listening, and if the listening spaces become too narrow and too focused and back into the conceptual mind, so then the way I start to see is everything, like the chair, the table, and everything is made of the same thing. And that's where I start to get into my mind and find how can this be made of emptiness.
Yes, I understand that. You are very right in using the word narrow. This narrow is the key. Narrow point of view cannot see this truth. Like what you need to do is you need to see everything in one go. Like you need to see as if you need to see the whole existence in one go to discover that it is one. How to do that? This is the question of how to do that. Through the mind, we see the word samsara. No? Through the heart, we can live the existence. We can feel the existence. No? Through the being, through the soul that we are, only through the soul that we are, we can be the existence. And this is just one way to know this truth, that it is one. You need to be the existence, be this oneness, to know that this is one. There is no shortcut for truth. There are never shortcuts for truth. There are always sacrifices in one sense or cost involved. As long as the individual self is there in any form, it can have some darshan of the ultimate truth. It cannot really know it, what it is. On a regular basis, it cannot. No? So the cost of knowing this truth is losing your claim on being individual. Whenever you are ready, you will enter into this existence and you will know this existence as it is. Because we all are this one existence, living as individual. Like this. So you are very right in saying no narrow. It has to be more open. Meditation, for example, in just seeing, this is the most opposite of narrow seeing. This is like very beautifully I heard from Osho, just looking without looking for anything. Like a still seeing. Just seeing is a still seeing. Like wide open eyes of the seeing. Like looking at the whole field of view, Not a particular object in it, not a particular portion of it is preferred or, liked more, favorite more. No, everything as it is. This is that just seeing through which darshan of the existence happens. Just being, just sitting is through that we become that existence. That's why meditation is very difficult. That's why the person or even the individual self, subtle form of individual self, cannot succeed in meditation for a long time because it will have to lose its individuality for it. But for those who want to lose it, this is a method then. You see what I mean? Now there's a method, actual method. Hey, I can actually lose my truth into the, like I am the drop and I can lose myself into the ocean. You see what I mean? So this is a method, and which we cannot succeed for a long time, as long as we have attachment for being the individual. No? Like this. So thank you. This is good. Thank you. I think there was some message also. It's a little longer message. Yatri, you wrote, Namaste Rajee. Could you please let me know my errors in discovering being, such as double standardness, inconsistency? Please be more direct with your light to remove darkness. This is to help me to live more intensely true and not live false as much as possible each day. Today I have been helped very much by your sharings with everyone so far. Thank you. Gratitude. हाँ. I have not really looked deeply with you, or generally I don't look deeply into anybody to find the specific errors of somebody. But as far as I have felt or interacted with you, based on that, and in general, I can say something, no, which I'm sure can help you a little bit, no. Let us take one thing at a time. Like double standardness, for example. No? Double standardness. Double standardness is connected to single standardness, isn't it? And there is no way you can have double standards for absolutely everything. If you have double standards for 100% of the things that you are doing, that will become your single standard. So double standard basically implies that you have two different standards for different type of things. Be aware of all of them. That's the answer. Then that being aware will become one standard, like one eye, like some darshan, like you will have one way of looking at. Find a one way of looking at both of them, double standard or single standard. Even in the single standard, it is double standard really. It is basically the dividedness, like a readiness and potential for having double standard. So focus on the root of it. Focus on the root of double standard, which is the two ways, or like having preferences when looking at things. Try to look at them in the one way, one single way. So being aware of having double standard is the way to be free from them. Do not do anything else. Only be aware. Even if the impulse comes to, I just want to be free from it, don't do that. This is what is sadhana also, bearing the pain of living the error, but consciously. And that completely removes the error forever. It will never come back now. So this is one double standard. No? Then another thing is inconsistency. You can be inconsistent in being consistent for something. But you can also be consistent in noticing your inconsistencies. So now, Yatri, be consistent in noticing your inconsistency. So this nobody can take away from you. Being aware and being constantly aware, like consistently aware of your inconsistencies cannot be taken away from you. This power is given to you. No? Because if you are not aware of it, you are not telling me, no? So you are aware of it, but not consistently. Like be the central being who is aware of your consistencies all the time. All the time, not like in the mind all the time in the sense, like a essence of it is you are always aware in the essence that yes, these are the inconsistencies going on inside. And this is again going to give you that central ground from where this inconsistency will disappear, it will evaporate. Because this inconsistency is not giving anything to anyone. It just has become like a lifestyle of the soul. And in that it gets caught up. And it feels that this is my freedom. It is not freedom, it is imprisonment. There is only one freedom for the soul, that is into itself. Not into any state, not into any preferences, not into any habits, any thoughts, any feelings, any life situations also, not relations also. There is just one freedom for the soul, that is into itself, into its own nature, which is what is actually anti-fragility. This is that anti-fragility. Your own nature is anti-fragility, and I did not say that time, but I say to you now that you should not be afraid of it. Take chance, have courage to say, yes, I am anti-fragile. Don't be egoic about it. Not saying to show off, but saying to become that very soon. No. That yes, I am essentially anti-fragile and I am going to live it so much that it will become my living experience now. No. So I encourage you to totally go for it. Even if you want to believe that you are anti-fragile, not that you are fragile. No? Even if you want to believe, it is better to believe that you are the self beyond the body, not that you are the body. Not that the belief is going to take you to the ultimate. So it is helpful. So Yatri, these are the things I felt so far. No? To live the truth every day more intensely and not to live the false. You also mentioned like this. What is false? Where is false? Those who live the truth of themselves do not find the false anywhere. And those who do not live the truth of who they are, they find true and false as two separate things. So what is truth? What is false? It is not really that there is a truth and a false. It is that we are not able to live the depth of life. But for that, we need to live the depth of who we are. The way to live the depth of life is to live the depth of who we are. The door to the depth of life goes through the depth of our own being. We can live this existence as deeply as we are able to live our own existence. It's a direct, simple. I think this is one I heard from Osho also. No? So, the way of the person or the false self basically is the shallow way. It is the shallow way of the soul. Shallow for everything. Shallow for meditation also. Shallow for living the practical life also. Both. It's not one. That practical life you are living deeply. If you can live practical life deeply, you don't need meditation. Because that will become the meditation. No? Because anything lived deeply is possible only through the depth of our own being, through living ourselves deeply first. No? There is no depth of experience. Only there is a depth of experiencer. Experience is just an excuse, an environment or a medium like a board. There is nobody else playing with you. There is just you playing with yourself. No? Like in the tennis and all, we play with the board. No, there is no other player on the other side like that. So there is no way to avoid living the depth of who we are. Even if you want to live the truth very intensely in daily life. Even for that, it's the same thing really. So life is not divided in this way of spiritual and non-spiritual. It is divided in the beings, in the different forms, as more deep, less deep, like that. The more deep, the more one the more harmonious, the more effortless, the more blissful, the more rich, the less deep. Less deep in the sense it's a relative term. In this form of you, the being want more depth, then it will be felt like living as shallow. Being want less depth, then it will feel like living too deep. I have to kind of live shallow a little bit. You see what I mean? It's a relative declaration in each one of us. So you are declaring it, and you find out, sense, feel your own existence, and it will help you in being clear how much depth, how much truth you want to live. Truth and depth is same thing. Intensely, living intensely basically is nothing but when life becomes a love affair, not like a job. Not like a job, but like a joy. Only when it is joy, it is intense, no? When the reward is in the very living of it, that is intensity, no? Not that by doing something I will reach somewhere or get something. No, this very moment, this very body, this very breath, this very existence, this exact everything as it is right now is the truth, is the presence of my Lord. I know it may sound really very strange, what I'm speaking, that why I'm not able to live it. There's no, conceptual answer to it really, ultimately. I try, we also try, all try to answer it. But there is a solution for this situation. That solution is dhyan, satsang, self-inquiry, awareness. That is a solution, not an answer. It's not an answer that what is this, why it is like this. No, it's a solution. So do you want solution or do you want answer? Do you want samadhi? Do you want samadhan? And samadhan means solution, no? Or you want an answer? When we are fed up with something, when we are troubled with something for a long time, like enough, then we want samadhan, then we want solution, isn't it? So, do you want a solution or you want just an answer right now? This is also something which can help you look deeply inside you. So thank you. It is almost end of this meeting now. If anybody want to quickly say anything, you can say, then we will end this meeting.
Thank you so much, Ji. Today is a very, very beautiful meeting and like a very high temperature.
High temperature.
It's continued and constant, like in this living the truth. All the meeting is so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Ji. These blessings, grace. Thank you.
There's something very valuable I want to mention here. No? There was one poetry Osho recited one time. हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, तब कहीं जाके होता है कोई दीदा पर पैदा. No? This flower, no, any flower we can say daffodil or like this, cries for the absence of light for thousands of years, and only then a seer is born. No? So in the existence, the value of the seer of existence, seer of truth, is highest. No? So every one of us basically exists because existence is trying to create a seer, so that it can look at itself through those eyes of the seer. No? This is pure bliss to have the darshan of, of truth, of existence as it is. There is no other gain to it. There is no other strings attached to it. This is the whole purpose of existence. You see, this is the highest purpose of existence, to be able to see the truth of existence from an individual form, as if it is something separate from it. And as soon as it starts having this darshan deeply, it finds that no, it is one. What I am looking at and who I am is one thing. No? This is where anubhuti happens. Anubhuti means experiencing, not anubhav, not the experience, where the two are separate from each other. Allow this experiencing to take place in you. Because in the direction of discovering, living the truth of who we are, even meditation also, we need to allow the experiencing, not the experience. The very language of experience is dualistic. No? However, the experiencing is a non-dual approach or understanding of experiencing, tasting the truth. No? While you don't become somebody when tasting the truth, rather you unbecome more and more who you were when tasting the truth. This is what happens precisely in meditation also. We unbecome more and more the false self. That's why at some point the self-awareness happens. Self-awareness does not happen to the false self or the individual self. No? It happens to the true self, to the one self, in this form. No, in this form it happens. I am. Who is saying this I am? Is the self actually, one self saying I am. I am aware that I am. No? He says like this. No? There is no other thing. Okay, will I be able to live a better life now as a person? Will I be able to do this, do that? No, no, no. Those things are much lesser attainments than this attainment, to be able to see the truth, to be able to have the darshan of truth. No? It is said, and I feel that in this context we can understand more clearly that, and it is true, that anybody who sees truth disappears. No? Anybody who sees God disappears. It is said like this or not? Nobody can survive the darshan of truth. It is true actually. But we do survive, no? Why? How we survive? Because we don't have darshan of truth. We have the reflection, darshan of the reflection of truth in our mind only. Only because of this, no? Anybody who has darshan of truth does not find that is there anything that there is anything else except this, no? Only this, nothing else. All the me and you, all the duality disappears here. No? Only one silence, one truth, one being, playing, living, breathing as me and you. No? Yeah. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. One more question came from Preeti. Dear Rajee, that question I asked in very beginning of Saturday, of Satsang today, and later your talks with Umaji, Ojas and others, I received some pointings. Even with the example of church renovation, using windows and doors, and useful for new church, I found some pointers. Thank you so much. Very, very good. Oh, it's very good. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining today.